Welcome to another episode of Unmasking The Narcissist. Sorry, I was just enjoying my ice cream. I know it sounds like I've got a pack of marbles in my mouth when I'm talking. Something I need to work on when I'm chewing, when I introduce my approach into the presentation. Pardon me if I'm mumbling as well. Sometimes I stutter, or I talk with my mouth full, I say a whole lot. Welcome to another episode of Unmasking The Narcissist. Maybe I'm not seeing things clearly now. Allow me to adapt so that I can see the vision for what it truly is and tap into my fullest potential for my viewers. Let's try this again. Excellent. I think I can talk without marbles in my mouth now. I'm going to try this again. Welcome to another episode of Unmasking the Narcissist. I'm your guy, Kimberly Phone Hunter III, and today I just want to discuss validating the fake and how we live in a world where people tell a whole series of lies and deceptions in order to fit into this comfortability of societal norms. But what if I told you that I think liars suck and the energy of deception is too much for me to tolerate? So today my intention is to shift that comfortability level of the narcissist by taking off their mask, throwing it down onto the ground and stepping on it because we love to do it. It's fun for us and we sort of do it like this sort of sport. Sorry, I don't want to talk like I have marbles in my mouth when I'm conveying the message. So my guilty pleasure is to just throw everything a liar, deception artist, or con man, or illusionist does. Throw all that shit out the window so that we can just get down to the bottom of the truth. Which is what people deserve when you're communicating messages to them, or you're inviting new friendships, love interests, even sharing things with your own family. You deserve the truth above all else. And we settle for nothing less here. So rather than listening to a narcissist spin a series of lies, deceptions, and false narratives, which caters towards a one-sided belief system, I'm not going to set out to accomplish a whole lot of nothing through carefully orchestrated but unproductive thought patterns. That only gives the narcissist a nice big ego boost, but doesn't sit well for the average person, such as me or even yourself, depending on who you are. So I mean, yeah. I got really tired of being around fake people who just lie to me. They're not sincere, they don't value my company, they don't wish anything good for me or even really care to work with me on anything because they are a liar, a cheater, and a fake who capitalizes off of opportunities, but at the expense of other people. And we don't got time for that nonsense, and I certainly don't have time for it. So allow me to take you on an emotional roller coaster, exposing the true makings of a certified psychopath. This shit is what loony bins are made of. It is not the monster within the certified psycho itself which we fear. You spend enough time around monsters and you become totally emotionless towards their true nature, because it is only through their lies and deceptions which negatively affect our lives if we allow it to, as well as future generations who would be impacted by that sort of validation vacuum and reward system. So you have a narcissistic manipulator and people who follow suit. You have a tyrant or a bastard, and or both. But let's get down like Charlie Brown wearing a nightgown, alright? Alright baby, let's do this, because it's going to be the talk of the town, turning smiles into frowns or frowns into smiles if you like to rock with me. But apart from that 1,000 mile difference, check the floor tiles, baby. Check the floor tiles, daddy, because who didn't love me right? Whoever didn't love me right, just say 35% on ceramic flooring. Come on down, Charlie Brown. Now I know I got a lot of people here who might think this could be pretty boring. Yes indeed, yes sir indeed. Let's continue though. So to validate the fake is to take a lie and submit to it. Rather than choose not to live inside of that lie, don't become the lie. The lies we are told to become make others feel more comfortable. For example, shrinking yourself down to make another person feel more comfortable because they are inferior to what you do. But they need to feel superior, but they're just not. They don't have the time, attention to detail, creativity, level of skill, passion, authority, or rank to do anything you do. But they place themselves above you up here anyway. But if you call them out, they're going to say you think you're better than them, and they're going to gaslight you. They use many different tactics. They're a big baby. Somebody get that bitch a diaper, and that's all you can really do, get the bitch a diaper, because it's probably a grown adult. But let's continue. Now, if somebody tells you to only see things one way, only think one way without ever questioning their opinion, would you go along with it? Many people would. And that's what makes the validation vacuum tick. Because we're validating the fake at the expense of throwing away the truth. And it's a problem for anybody, not just me. It's not just a problem that affects my quality of life, it affects the future generations who come after us as well. Because when you take a validation back, you run it through a series of lies and deceptions, and you reward the fake so that you can withhold the truth from people. It's just not a system that is built to thrive. It's a system that is already on the brink of self-destruction. It has very much been so for quite some time. When you give them power to control your thought process, you're essentially giving up your power to a person whose only intention or narrative is to control you. And that's the narcissistic control freak. We touched on that in a previous episode, but today we're going to look at the validation vacuum regarding the narcissist's self-fulfilling ultimatums, which is always one-sided, of course. And it doesn't really benefit you, doesn't really benefit the world, it doesn't benefit me. It doesn't benefit the job that you work, the company you represent, the friends you keep, the people you love or show respect to. It just benefits the narcissist, giving that one-sided ultimatum, creating these systems which are implemented by validating fake people with one-sided thinking situations. It's why when somebody says, here, take this money or partnership if you do everything I say and everything I tell you to do, I'm going to give you the money, I'm going to give you the partnerships. Now we have accomplished the goal of just rewarding the person with one opinion. Well, lucky for y'all, nobody ever gave me shit. So I made lowering the mask of narcissistic people into an Olympic sport. And my favorite pastime is to expose what lies beneath the mask. Now, whenever I can't successfully meditate my way out of a narcissist's energy, I know it can sometimes be challenging because they will scream at you. They will talk over top of you rather than allow you to defend yourself. So they yell over top of the sound of your voice in order to validate themselves for their poor behavior like a big fucking baby, because they're childish, narcissistic, abusive, a liar, backstabber, cheat. Everything they touch turns to slime. They're not just taking themselves down. Everybody who follows suit goes along with them. So you can't really talk over a person who screams at you when they're doing wrong, which is 99% of the time. But you can remove yourself from the room and meditate because you're done with that fuck. You're done with that energy source. But anyways, we validate fake for the sake of withholding real. Let me provide an example. Did you know my latest bottle of hooch was Cartier? Cartier is my favorite brand. This bottle costs $3,000. And it's just that example of being fake. I mean, sure, if you had the money to spend $3,500 on that Cartier, it's nice to have these nice things. it makes you feel good, right? To treat yourself to the good things in life. But when we go out of our way to brag about it to everybody, whoever chooses to listen, it's almost as if even with all that money and expensive shit you have, you got that expensive bottle of shit, you're just being fake in a sense that your whole damn image is built on this idea of materialism. What makes a person respectable or likable is based on your materialistic possessions, and that determines your status in society as a whole. Fuck that shit, bitch. If anything, that turns me off. No, I think it's disgusting. Sorry, I was talking with marbles in my mouth again. I think it's disgusting, and fuck your Cartier. I'll go get a bottle of Schlitz for $4.99, baby. Can't make it up, but that's just one example of being fake. Not to be confused with a person who has lots of wealth, but they just don't give a fuck. They'll drink the same bottle of Schlitz that I'm drinking, when they could have bought themselves an entire case of Cartier and even bought out the liquor establishment. It's just going out of your way to prove to people that materialism makes you something more important than what you probably actually are. And hey, who am I to judge, right? I'm just a guy making this video from a basement. So if people can afford a Cartier bottle and they're actively watching my content, let me know what your cup is tonight, alright? Is it going to be Cartier, or are you rocking Schlitz malt liquor with me? Let's be real. Let's keep it authentic. Because I don't give a fuck what you drink. It's not my intention to only drink Schlitz malt liquor, but if you're all rich and you want me to sample your Cartier, it's not that I care if it's Cartier or Schlitz. I'm just more or less somebody who values time and energy as much as another person values mine. So you have to trust in that authenticity. But I cannot stand or tolerate fake people. Sorry, I almost ran out. I'm gonna get the marble talk out of my mouth. Let's do this again. I cannot tolerate or stand fake people who give fake validation, fake praise, and make themselves out to be something they never were. More than likely, they use these systems of division in order to walk around acting like they're better than you in a lot of cases, when nobody's better than anybody. But the sad reality is, people use things like materialism, social status, and titles in order to create division between just one person and another, whether it be race, religion, ethnicity, whatever the case. It's all based on these lies, deceptions, and one-sided ultimatums. So you just got a bunch of people acting like they're better than what they actually are. But in a lot of cases, they're no different than me or you, depending on whether you're an average person or you're a weirdo who oversells your value. Which is just a sad reality, but who cares? It's all about the unmasking, baby. We're going to continue. So basically, continuing off of what I already said, you only want to be friends with people who have lots of money, right? You only want to be friends with the popular person. You see them as an opportunity of, oh, this person can do a lot for me, rather than value their time, energy, and effort, which to me is a complete waste of time if you're fishing for all these things of what a person can do for you rather than how the energy matches each other. But something I learned is that validating fake people is a reward system that only rewards fake people. And when you speak the truth, they don't like it, but who gives a fuck? If you even study these reward systems by looking at algorithms, for example, do you ever notice how when you watch a YouTube video from some content creators, they might have millions of subscribers and views. The money never stops flowing for them, but then you see another creator who does the same thing, which only has 20,000 subscribers instead of 10 million. 500 views instead of 10 million subscribers and 10 million views. Something I learned after realizing the fakeness of it all in the grand scheme of things is that I look at a channel with 20,000 subscribers and 500 views on their video. By clicking on that video with less views, I'm probably actually going to take away something better from the smaller channel with less views, because it's offering more. It's not throwing shade on the other person who has all the support and all the views and likes, but I just noticed that the channel with less views, likes, and comments and subscribers usually always does a better job. And I think I understand why now, because we have a validation vacuum in a system built on validating people to be fake, only see things one way, and reward false narratives so that people can be comfortable with their lives. And we gotta say fuck that shit. We're stepping on the narcissistic energy vampire's mask for sport. Because some people have talent, creativity, and a lot to offer, and other people have what can this person do for me? I will take it and roll with it because I am a coward, an inferior little pussy or bitch. Now, given this example, I'm not even talking about myself relating to comparing how many views I get towards how many views other people get, because even though my numbers are consistently staying low, I'm just providing an example of how validating fake people with one-sided ultimatums is conforming to the lies and illusions, but we're living in a world that is fake as fuck because it makes us feel comfortable. And I say fuck that shit. I'm stepping on the mask for sport, and I'm not sorry for it. Now, if we go a little more in depth to comparing an honest thief with a heroic liar, it's not as if I personally want to be friends with the heroic liar. It's not as if I want to be friends with the honest thief. They're too busy spinning narratives than to tell the truth, but the truth doesn't fear them. They just fear the truth, especially when they are built off of a whole damn lie. Now, the honest thief doesn't give a fuck. They're just a dirty motherfucker. They're into things you'd rather not be into. All kinds of dirty shit. Foul isn't just their language. It became their middle name. But ethics is a rarity amongst these types. It's a sort of bond they might share with the heroic liar. However, I am so sickened by the heroic liar, so disgusted by running away from the truth, that the dirty motherfucker teaches me more than the fake hero at this point. So at this point, who do we validate? The honest thief or the heroic liar? Me personally, I'm not taking side to be a friend of mine or an ally. Yet I just want to hear the truth without feeling like I need to beat it out of you, you know? Not because I'm a violent guy. No, I try to issue everybody hugs wherever I see fit, and I'm very loving, but some people are just too much for me. It is what it is, my guy. It is what it is. So the problem continuing down this deceptive road is that the reward system benefits fakeness, fake people behind a series of lies and false narratives. And if that's the route we're going, if we continue to reward bad behavior in this sort of way, we're going to have to start completely disregarding the truth and only favor lies. I don't want to live in a world like that, and I don't think anybody else would either. The best way to create positive changes is to speak the truth at all costs and avoid every lie, deception, and false narrative. Because if we continue going the way we're going, not only will being fake become the new standard of how we live as a civilization, at some point in time, we're going to become so consumed by the fake virus that the entire system will glitch, twitch, and bitch. Yeah, the entire system is just going to twitch out and bitch out and glitch out, because you can't be living on a lie forever. You cannot keep on being fake forever. You cannot keep on building reward systems that only benefit one person or group forever, because it's like the more you force that validation of the fake, and the more people become what you expect. It's going to get to a point where people like me are just literally saying, fuck this. I can't be around A, B, C, or D because every single one of them have been lying to me, and I'm done with these fake motherfuckers. Not only do I find they are totally full of shit throughout time, but once I decode and decipher the liar's fake ass level of psyche, I'm just so drawn away from their energy that I can't even rock with them anymore. I can't be around fake people, and rewarding and validating fakeness has become too great of a burden for me to carry. And I will never carry another person's burdens because even if they want to be fake with me, fake with everybody else, and lie to themselves, lie to the whole damn world, I see the truth. The truth is all that matters to me, and I can no longer tolerate the validation of a fake-ass motherfucker, or fake-ass group of people. So we step on that mask for sport because it's fun, and it just opens up our way of thinking to seeing and valuing truth and authenticity instead of a liar who's pretending to be something they're not because they're fake. So I know, like, we said a whole lot of nothing. We did some psyche salads today. It's just words. Sorry, I had some marbles in my mouth at one point. I was working on my speech. I felt like it improved. I put on my glasses because I wasn't sure if I was seeing things clearly, but I kept it going. I think I'm seeing the picture for what it truly is. And even though these got a little bit foggy, I was able to continue on and persevere because the truth matters above all lies, deceptions, and fake. I will not validate the validation vacuum because the validation vacuum itself is built on taking a lie, rewarding narcissism, and becoming the lie in order to make the narcissist feel comfortable. Fuck that, enjoy your mask, bitch. I stepped on it for sport, then I pissed on it, I danced on it, and we might as well call that the death of your ego, because if your ego experienced a gravestone, I just pissed all over it, motherfucker. Till next time, it's Kimmy Baby signing out.